Is Superman going to be evil in the Justice League movie? Question mark? What is up, everybody? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. Guys, we have to talk about Superman in the Justice League movie. Now, Superman, of course, died in Batman v Superman. Sorry, spoilers. But we all know that he was coming back. I mean, they're repeating the story from the death of Superman. He comes back after that. He continuously dies and comes back. Not only is that a trope of comic book characters in general, but we see that dirt move on the coffin at the end of the movie, right? So we really do believe that Superman is coming back in some way, shape, or form in the Justice League. Now, we are right around the corner from San Diego Comic-Con, and we are expecting to get a Justice League trailer at SDCC. That's nothing unusual. It matches up with, the history of what you do when you have big movies coming out, what Comic-Con is, and everything like that. But there are rumors that there is a scene in this trailer, actually at the end of the trailer, in which Superman comes down in front of Batman, and he's gnarly. He's got the beard, he's got the long hair, he's in his black suit, and he is essentially has red glowing eyes with a villainous smirk, and it creates an oh shit moment for Batman. Now, what this does is kind of recirculate rumors that were going on last year after Justice League production had started. There were people that were saying that Warner Brothers was going to resurrect Superman and do an injustice sort of thing with him, make him the villain, perhaps have him brainwashed or something, make the villains fight against him, and then after that, he would return to form, having experienced a whole bunch of craziness, having a newfound respect for his powers, and would become the Boy Scout that we all know and love, which is, super fucking weird, and not the direction I would take. But, it's okay. It's fresh, so it might not be that bad. Now, here's the thing. There's a big camp of people out there, comic book fan-wise, that really do not like what Warner Brothers has been doing with its core characters. This would include the Jared Leto Joker, the Ben Affleck Batman, the Henry Cavill Superman, and it goes on down the line. So for them to suggest that they're going to take this Superman character and sort of bastardize him even more by making him villainous in some way could be a huge point of contention with the fan base. On top of that, you have Wonder Woman, who just came out and was pretty true to form, at least for what we know about her character in the comics. Maybe certain things of her origin and different things like that were changed. But as far as the character of Diana, we have something pretty close to what we would imagine from the comics. It fits the motifs of Wonder Woman. Brilliant movie, by the way, and made a ton of money. So Warner Brothers is in this weird spot. If this was truly something that had been laid out there, if this was truly something that they wanted to do, I can kind of see it from the angle of, it's badass. It's Injustice sells really well. There are a lot of Elseworlds with Superman, like Red Sun, the Apocalypse story. There's a ton of great stories that are Elseworlds of Superman where he's not atypical and even villainous a little bit. These can be cool, right? So I can understand it from that perspective. But as far as the PR problems that Warner Brothers has with its fan base, I think this is really probably not a good idea. And I remember when these rumors were first circulating last year that a ton of different people were like, well, they better not. What are they trying to do? Wedge something even more between them and their fan base? That just really doesn't seem like a smart idea. Also, the fact that Joss Whedon is taking over would suggest that things of that nature, which really feel more like a Zack Synder thing, would sort of go away, and they would kind of try to establish these characters, really bring them together more, and have this kind of family unit type thing going on that Joss Whedon, by the way, does so well. So it seems really counterintuitive that they would make Superman evil in this film. However, it is a possibility. Don't forget that in Batman v Superman, there is, of course, that flash forward, flashback, weird dream sequence that Bruce has where he is seeing Superman in an evil light. The Flash is telling him that he was right about him. He was always right about him. There's the apocalypse symbol. There's parademons. There's a lot of things that end up becoming the catalyst for Bruce to put the Justice League together. And what is linked with all of those is an evil Superman, right? So this, unless that scene is completely throwaway, you would have to think that in the narrative there is going to be some semblance of that future happening. And if Superman is truly to be resurrected and turned, it is very possible that this is something that Darkseid has been planning. If Darkseid knows about the planet, knows about what's going on Earth, he would likely want to take Superman at the very least out of the equation, which, if he's dead, then good for him, then they don't really need to worry about that. But if he's not out of the equation, to actually get him to turn and leverage him towards Darkseid's ambitions, right? So I can see a thing happening in the movie where Lois Lane gets killed or something to that effect, perhaps captured by Darkseid or something, and Superman is perhaps boom-tubed out of that coffin into Apocalypse. Apocalypse tells him that Batman killed Lois and that the people of Earth can't be trusted, and sort of props up Bruce Wayne as the atypical human and why Earth is fucked up, and then uses some kind of an ability to give Superman his dark suit and to send him back to Earth to help Steppenwolf to subjugate the Earth. This could be cool. I am not saying that I would be completely against it. It could be really cool if done correctly. It could also pit Wonder Woman, who is now becoming like the leader of the Justice League, at least in my mind, because she's the best character they have and her movie's the best movie they have. If they do position Diana to be the leader of the Justice League and sort of, be the front runner, then it could be kind of cool to have Superman play across from her in sort of a villainous role. Now, you could also have, this brainwashing technique be, figured out by the Justice League. They could free Superman of his bonds and then work with him at the end of the movie to, fight Steppenwolf. It could be this really cool thing where maybe Superman is fighting with Steppenwolf, but then once they shake off the mind control or whatever, he gets super pissed because he was taken advantage of. He then, fights with the Justice League, shuts down Steppenwolf in a very epic fit of rage, and then the whole Justice League has to formulate to try to not only prevent more evil from coming, perhaps the second wave that will be represented by Darkseid himself, but also to help all of these people, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, have checks and balances on their own power. Think about this. If Darkseid can manipulate and mind control Superman, that's crazy. The world would probably end. But it would just as easily end if he could do that to Wonder Woman or even Batman or Aquaman. These guys are all really strong and they have a lot of resources, so perhaps the Justice League forms not only just to be a team where they fight off evil, but to also put each other in check. I think that could be an interesting take. That could be really, really cool. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? I mean, do you think that it's possible that we have an evil Superman in the Justice League? What do you think that will do for the DC Extended Universe as we move forward? Do you have faith that Joss Whedon could handle this type of thing with tact? Or is this going to just be one more thing that is terrible about the DCEU and one more thing that turns off hardcore DC fans? Please let me know in the comments section. I'm very interested to know everybody's thoughts about this. Real quick too, I will say, guys, there's huge stuff coming for the Den of Nerds. I just can't quite announce it yet, but we have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I apologize about the lack of video uploads, but I promise you a ton of awesome things are coming. And thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel since I started it as a personal channel over a year ago. You guys are amazing, and I thank you very much for the support. So that's all I've got for this one. I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!